Hey, welcome to Jason is a Social Scientist by Mouth Daily. Pill number 574 is beginning. I don't know. It's beginning again, like dear old Michael Finnegan again. Hello. Alright. I'm gonna go right into some communion. Dang it. Jerry Thompson, hello. Annie Rivera, welcome. Samantha Santiago. Jackie Kirschman. April Corso, communion. Engage communion, hello Elliot. Hi Kristen Arnold, Lisa Jean Marie. Adam Curry, Annette Delphinus, Samantha Santiago. Yeah, we are early today, getting started early. Laura's putting the boys to bed. Oh no, I've been better, but could be worse though too. Nanu, hello. Are you all here to light my fire?
Bill number 574.
Dang it. Oh my goodness. Michelle Anacuna Akuna Matata is here to light my fire. Alright. Set phasers to flaming. I have Paula Grave, Evolve, Veg on the Reg. Alright. Go Gadget, Fireplace. Flaming, I said. Dang it. My phaser. Alright, here we go. This one. Alright. Woo! Pants on fire. Just the crotch. My crotch is on fire. No, it's not really. Take it to heck. Takara, welcome. You dang the dang show. Thank you. Now that's my job too. Gotta dang it and engage the echo chamber. I realized I didn't check the volume down here.
Bill number 574.
Hey, Bridget.
Bill number 574.
Yeah, real early show tonight. Alright, now we go to the Facebook app. You say, go Gadget Echo Chamber. Alright, now we go to the Facebook app. Hi Lorraine, Tracy, Caitlin. Hello to everyone. Now we just got a dang the dang show. Oh, and here we go. Dang it, Double Dog, dang it to heck. So go to personal timeline. And we'll go to Acid Math, the group.
Bill number 574.
And let's see. Let's go to cannabis too. Let's see. Dang it. Alright. Then Go Gadget Double Echo Chamber. We're getting there. About to capture you in my web of photons and glass. I see you, Richard. Spacing. You're all captured. Blake, Samantha. I see you, Richard. What do you call a pony with a sore throat? I don't know. I don't know. What do you call a pony with a sore throat? I don't know. Dang it. Does that look right? Hi, Debbie.
574.
That look great. Hi, Debbie.
Bill number 574.
Why did the tomato blush? I don't know. Terrible jokes. I don't know any. Who's ready for fireworks? That'll be fun. And saw the salad dressing. Ha! I get it. I get it. All right, communion. Saw the salad dressing. Ha! I get it. I get it. A wee bit of rest. I did. All right, communion. Hi, Cindy Lou. You bet. Jerry, we love you. Bang, bang, ding, ding, bang. Thank you, thank you. The glasses and hat were a gift from Outstanding Bear. You bet. Jerry, we love you. Bang, bang, ding, ding, bang. Jerry, we love you. Rock out with your book out. Hello, Maggie. Ding it. Tracy Barber. Jeanette says, I knew. Here it goes again. Missy's tired. Just take a couple puffs and get some sleep. Is that the plan, Missy? Ding it. Here it goes again. Thanks, Cindy Lou. Bang it and bang it and dang it and dang it. Hammer, hammer. Hey, Derek. Screw, screw. Amanda Cox. Nail, nail. A pound, a pound. Construction noises. Caesar Rifo. Bang it and bang it and bang it and bang it and dang it. Hammer, hammer. Screw, screw. Nail, nail, nail. Pound, pound, pound. Construction noises. Construction. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. I love you too, Gage. Construction noises. Construction. Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Angie, we love you.
I love you too, Gage.
Angie, we love you.
Dang it, ever screw, nail, pound, construction noises. Raising the roof, hello. Thank you, Amanda Cox. Amber Jones, hello to you too. Welcome. Lily Mouse says, dang it. Wow, is anybody wondering what the show is about? Has it gotten to that point yet? Brooke Aaron Yates, hello, welcome back. Oliver Foley, hello. Ashley McCormick, hey everyone. How do you? Robert J. Polk, wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Oh, thank you, Brooke. Oliver. Hey everyone. Robert J. Polk, wham, bam. Crystal Renee. All right, let's give Book Out a shout out, and then we'll give Crystal Renee. Oh, let's give Crystal Renee and then Book Out, okay? Crystal Renee. All right, let's give Book Out a shout out, and then we'll give Crystal Renee.
Crystal Renee, we love you.
Crystal Renee, we love you. Crystal Renee,
So. Welcome, Crystal. The Jason is a social scientist. By Mouth Daily, pill number 574. Welcome, everyone. Especially the new people. I don't know if some of you might be wondering, if there are any new people, some of you might be wondering what the show is about. Right now, dang it to heck, it's about you, Crystal. Renee, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Thank you, Justin. Yes, it's my web of photons and glass. This is the Hotel California. It's the Roach Motel. You can check in, but you can't check out. No, like I said, people do often wonder what the show is about. The premise is deceptively simple. I take my HIV medication live on the Book of Face each day in front of friends, family, and strangers. I do so in order to embrace stigma, dispel ignorance, and find support. After 574 pills, 574 shows, a number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and around and about the show. The bells, bows, and other people, the people that come back night after night and give me the most valuable resource, their time. To me, that's the most significant thing that's risen up and around and about the show. The community. Therein lies the support that I was looking for. A bow like Maggie Book Out. Therein lies the support.
Rock out with your book out. We love you.
rock out with your rock out. 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 Rock out with
But a number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and around and about the show. And ding dong bell, boy do she now hell. I mean, heck, this show has it all. Hey, Jared, I like to say that it is Cloud Atlas and that it incorporates at least 600 years of entertainment. With Edward R. Murrow's radio broadcasts on record. Actually, Nikki, and cylinders played on a 19th century Edison home phonograph. Along with a nursery rhyme book from my childhood, containing rhymes from the 15th century. Oh, it's all right. You know, like I welcome dissonant voices, and like if, you know, that's about changing. You know, I don't want to preach to the choir so much. Although I do want to preach to the choir too. The choir is lovely. along with a nursery rhyme book from my childhood containing rhymes from the 15th century. It is, in a sense, also The Matrix. In a previous iteration of the show, I created something I call the Rainbow Tunnel, in which I harnessed the power of Grayskull, hi Tommy Gunn, and the Eye of Thundera, funneling them through a series of warp nacelles, creating a static warp bubble and a subsequent singularity, punching a hole through the fourth wall, across the multiverse, and into the source. The show now takes place in an echo chamber created by me that serves as a way station between our reality and the source. I don't expect lay people to fully understand, as this is advanced social science. Hi, Dan and Patrick. I don't expect lay people to fully understand. Already said it. Is there an echo in here? Yeah, so the show is also like an old-timey variety show, Carol Burnett style. You're welcome, Crystal. Carol Burnett style, mixed with a merry melody of Looney Tunes and a measure of Mork and Mindy, a dash of Mr. Ed, and two doses of Alice in Wonderland, a helping of Hee Haw, heaps of Benny Hill, a hint of the Highlander, tons of the Twilight Zone, a tincture of Teen Wolf, an ounce of Oz, a cup of Creep Show and Castaway, a quart of Quantum Leap and a gallon of Gilligan's Island. It's a 4-hour show and a 4-hour tour. Piles of Pee-wee's Playhouse, a pinch of Peter Pan and a pound of Popeye. I am what I am. A whole block of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and a ration of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm just a sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania. Ha ha. Come up to the lab. See what's on the slab. I can see you shiver with anticipation. Touch me, I wanna be dirty. Thrill me, chill me, fill me. Creature of the night. An undone Benjamin Button, a corny ear of Dumbo, a college try of I Spy, a couple raw strokes of Bob Ross, a spoonful of Mary Poppins and the full Monty Python. Finally lump in Rick and Morty with a liter of I Love Lucy in the Sky with diamonds and wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. You've got the show. Everything is out of place and out of time here, including and especially me. Alice will always be pregnant. Harambe will always be ready for her high fives. The first and the second coming will always be risen with the Obamas getting blowjobs from the Woodies. Dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. Always be risen with the Obamas. The Supermen and their boners. Always be spinsters and sempstresses working the sweatshop. The Twin Towers will always stand with Lady Liberty. You will have their MTV. Pigs will fly. Disco and dance will reign like men did in the days of old. I write nightly the future history of anachronism for your future children and your elderly grandparents. May they enjoy it now and time immemorial. If I'd have people take only one thing away from this show, it would be the knowledge that HIV is preventable. If you're HIV negative, there's a once-a-day pill you can take. They call it PrEP, pre-exposure protocol. The pill is Truvada, and if you're HIV negative, you take it once a day, and it works like a, hi Gustavo, highly effective chemical condom. It prevents HIV. But if you're already HIV positive like me, treatment is prevention. By taking my medication every day and maintaining an undetectable viral load, it makes it so I'm not contagious. U equals U. Undetectable equals untransmissible. You could fuck me bareback all day long and never catch HIV from me. It's a brave new world. The future is now, and it's 1969. Free love. Woo. Ding it, ding it, ding it, ding it, ding it. Hey, Anton. Kimberly. All right. Time to break it down. And done. Kimberly. All right. Time to break it down. Thanks, Dan. Oh, no problem, Hygia. The show is made so you can stop in for 4 hours a night, or you can stop in once a month, once a year, just to say hi. No pressure zone. No pressure zone. No apologies necessary. Dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. Hey, Celeste. Well, you can go back. You can always go back. Let's see. Both on YouTube and on. Well, you can go back. You can always go back. Thank you, Pauline. Hey, Rune. Both on YouTube and shameless self-promotion. Thank you, Pauline. I don't remember what chapter we're on. Dang it, dang it, dang it. You're welcome, Celeste. That was fun. That was fun. Thank you, Hygia. I struggle. I got it at Party City. It's just an eraser. Thank you, Amanda. I don't know. In addition to all those other ingredients, you know, the show's unfathomable fathoms of fear and self-loathing in Wisconsin. It's hard to really. It's hard for me to like, be nice to myself, I guess. I don't know. Dang it to heck. Thanks, Maggie. I'm just really good at criticizing myself. Oh, dang it to heck. All right.
Fuck out with your fuck out. We know you.
It's really easy to feel hopeless. Oh. Thank you, Crystal. I'm still waiting on my disability decision. I don't know. I think the decision is going to come soon, I think. I'm still waiting on my disability decision. I logged into the website today, and the decision is going to come soon, I think. Thanks, Tracy. Hey, Stephanie. And it said that the medical decision has been made and just has to be processed through. It has to be processed now. That was an update on the 4th of June. This is the second. This is like this is my first appeal. I haven't had a hearing yet. It was good. It was good. It was fun to see. You guys were there with me. Good luck, Tracy.
Fuck out with your fuck out. We know you.
I tried to do a miniature, somebody just sent me the keyboard, but a miniature keyboard, dang it. fireplace.
With your fuck up. We love you.
Big Superman, a little Superman. This is a little sewing machine. I don't know if you can tell. Big sewing machine, a little TV, and a big TV. Superman, this is a little sewing machine. I don't know if you can tell. Big sewing machine, a little TV, and a big TV.
With your fuck up. We love you.
Dang it, where's my trolley? Where's my trolley? Dang it.
With your fuck up. We love you. With your fuck up. We love you.
I think we're almost there. Let's see. Let's see. Go Gadget mini fireplace. Let's see. Go Gadget mini fireplace. Let's see. All right. Communion.
With your fuck up. We love you.
Hello, everyone. Hey, Thomas Hall. Hello, everyone. Joe L. Covert. Oh, picked up in here. Hello, Celestanius. There's the communion device. What's in... Oh, no box tonight, Chad Newey. And Joe Letterman, hello. Tina Baker, thank you. Let's give a shout out to Tina Baker. Tina Baker, thank you. Hey, Kimberly, Richard Johnson. Let's give a shout out to Tina Baker. Tina Baker, we love you. Mike Kent. Blue Dream, I believe. Hey! Welcome everyone to Jason is a Social Scientist on By Mouth Daily, pill number 574. Some of you may be wondering what this show is about. Right now it's about Tina Baker. We love you. Tina Baker, we love you. Now, like I said, a number of people often wonder what the show is about. The premise is deceptively simple. I take my HIV medication live on the Book of Face each day in front of friends, family, and strangers. I do so in order to embrace stigma, dispel ignorance, M&M's here, hello, and find support after 574 pills, 574 shows. A number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and around and about the show. The bells, bows, and other people, the people that come back night after night and give me their most valuable resource, their time. To me, that's the most significant thing that's risen up and around and about the show. Hi, Stephanie. The bells, bows, and other people, the people that come back night after night and give me their most valuable resource, their time. To me, that's the most... Therein lies the support that I was looking for. But a number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and around and about the show. And ding dong bell, boy does she now hell. I mean, heck, this show has it all. I like to say that it is Cloud Atlas and that it incorporates at least 600 years of entertainment, with Edward R. Murrow's radio broadcasts on record and cylinders played on a 19th century Edison home phonograph, along with a nursery rhyme book from my childhood containing woodcut illustrations from the 15th century. It is, in a sense, also The Matrix. In a previous iteration of the show, I created something I call the Rainbow Tunnel, in which I harnessed the power of Grayskull and the Eye of Thundera, funneling them through a series of warped nacelles, creating a static warp bubble and a subsequent singularity, punching a hole through the fourth wall, across the multiverse, and into the source. The show now takes place in an echo chamber created by me that serves as a way station between our reality and the source. I don't expect lay people to fully understand as this is advanced social science. Yeah, so the show is also like an old-timey variety show, Carol Burnett style, mixed with a merry melody of Looney Tunes and a measure of Mork and Mindy, a dash of Mr. Ed, and two doses of Alice in Wonderland, a helping of Hee Haw, heaps of Benny Hill, a hint of the Highlander, tons of the Twilight Zone, a tincture of Teen Wolf, an ounce of Oz, a cup of Creep Show and Castaway, a quart of Quantum Leap, and a gallon of Gilligan's Island. It's a 4-hour show and a 4-hour tour. Piles of Pee-wee's Playhouse, a pinch of Peter Pan, and a pound of Popeye. I am what I am. A whole block of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and a ration of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm just a sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania. Ha ha. Come up to the lab. See what's on the slab. I can see you shiver with anticipation. Touch me. I want to be dirty. Thrill me, chill me, fill me. Creature of the night. An undone Benjamin Button, a corny ear of Dumbo, a college try of I Spy, a couple raw strokes of Bob Ross, a spoonful of Mary Poppins, and the full Monty Python. Finally lump in Rick and Morty with a liter of I Love Lucy in the sky with diamonds, and wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. You've got the show. Everything is out of place and out of time here, including and especially me. Alice will always be pregnant. Harambe will always be ready for her high fives. The first and the second coming will always be risen with the Obamas getting blowjobs from the Woodies. The Supermen and their boners will always be spinsters and seamstresses. Working the sweatshop, the twin towers will always stand with Lady Liberty. You will have their MTV. Pigs will fly. Disco and dance will reign like men did in the days of old. I write nightly the future history of anachronism for your future children and your elderly grandparents. May they enjoy it now and time immemorial. If I'd have people take only one thing away from this show, it would be the knowledge that HIV is preventable. If you're HIV negative, there's a once-a-day pill you can take. They call it PrEP, Pre-Exposure Protocol. The pill is Truvada, and if you're HIV negative, you take it once a day, and it works like a highly effective chemical condom. It prevents HIV. But if you're already HIV positive like me, treatment is prevention. By taking my medication every day and maintaining an undetectable viral load, it makes it so I'm not contagious. U equals U. Undetectable equals untransmissible. You could fuck me bareback all day long and never catch HIV from me. It's a brave new world. The future is now, and it's 1969. Free love. Woo! Good night, Crystal. Tanner, welcome. All right. Echo Chamber. Thank you, Joe. No, I'm not feeling chipper. But thank you. Thank you for being here, Amy. Joe Samir, we should give you a shout out. No, I'm not. I love you too, Meg Roberts. Thank you. Thank you for being here, Amy. Joe Samir, we love you. Joe Samir, we love you. I love you, Barry. I'm Brittany. Tanner Lee Sparks, indeed. Let me pack a fresh one with you, man, here. Woo. Gloria Rivera, we love you. Gloria Rivera, we love you. Gloria Rivera, we love you. Gloria Cheers, Tanner Lee Sparks. Communion. I call it communion here because it's a communal activity, something that, like smoking a peace pipe. Some people break bread. I don't know, just an activity. Like, my whole life, it's been an activity of like how I've sealed friendships and. Gloria Rivera, you wanted to know what the show is about? Right now, it's about you. No, people often wonder what the show is about. The premise is deceptively simple. I take my HIV medication live on the Book of Face each day in front of friends, family, and strangers. I do so in order to embrace stigma, dispel ignorance, and find support. I love you too, Megan Roberts. After 574 pills, 574 shows, the number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and around and about the show. It's the bells, bows, and other people, the people that come back night after night and give me their most valuable resource, their time. To me, that's the most significant thing that's risen up and around and about the show. The community. Therein lies the support that I was looking for. But a number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and around and about the show. Ding dong bell, boy does she now hell. I mean, heck, this show has it all. I like to say that it is Cloud Atlas and that it incorporates at least 600 years of entertainment, with Edward R. Murrow's radio broadcasts on record and cylinders played on a 19th century Edison home phonograph, along with a nursery rhyme book from my childhood containing rhymes from the 15th century. Thanks, John. I agree. I do. As a mental health professional, as well as a patient, I believe mental illness is universal. Thanks, John. I agree. I do. Ding dong bell, buddy. Professional, as well as a patient, I believe the nursery rhyme. It is, in a sense, also the Matrix. In a previous iteration of the show, I created something I call the Rainbow Tunnel, in which I harnessed the power of Grayskull and the Eye of Thundera, funneling them through a series of warp nacelles, creating a static warp bubble and a subsequent singularity. Halloween is my wedding anniversary. Punching a hole through the fourth wall, across the multiverse, and into the source. The show now takes place in an echo chamber created by me that serves as a way station between our reality and the source. I don't expect lay people to fully understand, as this is advanced social science. Yeah, so the show is also like an old-timey variety show, Carol Burnett style, mixed with a merry melody of Looney Tunes and a measure of Mork and Mindy, a dash of Mr. Ed, and 2 doses of Alice in Wonderland, a helping of Hee-Haw, heaps of Benny Hill, a hint of the Highlander. I love you too, tons of the Twilight Zone. Love you too, Brandy. A tincture of Teen Wolf. Ow, 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 ow. An ounce of Oz. A cup of Creep Show and Castaway, a quart of Quantum Leap, and a gallon of Gilligan's Island. It's a 4-hour show and a 4-hour tour. Piles of Pee-wee's Playhouse, a pinch of Peter Pan, and a pound of Popeye. I am what I am. A whole block of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and a ration of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm just a sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania. Ha ha. Come up to the lab. See what's on the slab. I can see you shiver with anticipation. Touch me. I wanna be dirty. Thrill me, chill me, fill me. Creature of the night. An undone Benjamin Button, a corny ear of Dumbo, a college drive, I spy. A couple raw strokes of Bob Ross, a spoonful of Mary Poppins, and the full Monty Python. Hi, Stephanie, I love you. Finally, lumping Rick and Morty with a leader of I Love Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, and wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, you got the show. Everything is out of place and out of time here, including and especially me. Alice will always be pregnant. Harambe will always be ready for a high five. The first and the second coming will always be risen with the Obamas getting blowjobs from the Woodies. Missing Woody. The Supermen and their boners will always be spinsters and sumptuouses working the sweatshop. The twin towers will always stand with Lady Liberty. You will have their MTV. Pigs will fly. Disco and dance will reign like men did in the days of old. I write nightly the future history of anachronism for your future children and your elderly grandparents. May they enjoy it now and time immemorial. If I'd have people take only one thing away from this show, it would be the knowledge that HIV is preventable. If you're HIV negative, there's a once-a-day pill you can take. They call it PrEP, pre-exposure protocol. The pill is Truvada, and if you're HIV negative, you take it once a day, and it works like a highly effective chemical condom. It prevents HIV. But if you're already HIV positive like me, treatment is prevention. By taking my medication every day and maintaining an undetectable viral load, it makes it so I'm not contagious. U equals U. Undetectable equals untransmissible. You could fuck me bareback all day long and never catch HIV from me. It's a brave new world the future is now, and it's 1969. Oh, I didn't see your comment. I didn't see. What was it about the question? I'm not in the trial, if that what you asked. I'm not even looking to be in it. You know, of course I hope for a cure for HIV, and a vaccine, because there's 35 million people that have died. And, but in all honesty, it would be like a bittersweet moment for me. Like, it would be like I don't know, I've got this, I've got this show is like this crutch that I feel like it'd be ripped out from under me. No, but I'm not a monster. I wouldn't wish away a cure for HIV just so I could keep taking the pill every day live for a show. You like these, Cindy, though? They're nice. They're nice. Well, I made a commitment for Bymouth Daily when I started it, the pilot. I made a commitment to take my HIV medication live on the Book of Face each day until I don't need to take it anymore. A cure would be one of those times where I didn't need it.
Gloria Rivera, we love you.
Oh, don't worry, people. That's long off. That's a long ways off. It's a long ways off. Like trials for that new vaccine, human trials, won't even begin till mid 2019. So we're like at least a year away before even the first trials start. It'll probably be like 2020 or 2022. Who knows? I could get hit by a bus before then. Who knows? Hey, TJ. we can do story time. That's rough, man. I haven't done that for a while. I'll blame it. People say loose stools can happen with it's like happened like 3 times in the past 2 years, maybe.
Gloria Rivera, we love you.
It's rough, man. Hasn't happened for like going on a year though, so. The trial for the vaccine, I think, the vaccine stimulates the body to create antibodies, produce antibodies. And there's been other vaccines of similar that haven't been effective, that took antibody, like they find these antibody responses naturally in people that are like non-progressors or whatever. But just one of these antibodies in a vaccine in the past, sort of like just how one medication hasn't been effective in controlling HIV. HIV seems to need like a concert, a trio of drugs or antibodies in the case of anyway. So unlike these previous, which showed some efficacy but still not full efficacy, where they use single antibodies from one person, this new potential vaccine that they'll be doing trials on will stimulate the body to create 3 different antibodies. That's not found naturally in any one person, but it found 3 separate antibodies found in 3 separate people. And this trio, I don't know, HIV just can't stand up to 3 fronts, it seems like. It seems really promising. It's working in animals, both as a vaccine and a cure. I saw it first in Apple News on Bustle.com, but it was in National Institutes of Health, I think. And I've read about these some of that was not in the article, the broadly neutralizing antibodies. I'd read previously about the work on this vaccine.
Some of that was not in the article of the broadly neutralizing antibodies. I'd read previously about the work on this vaccine.
Yeah, it seems pretty promising. Works in like guinea pigs and monkeys and 3 different animal models.
Gloria Rivera, we love you. Gloria Rivera, we love you.
Well, someday the show will end. Someday. I made a commitment to keep doing the show to keep taking the pill until I didn't need to take it anymore. So you'll be stuck with me for. And then I don't know what. I don't know what's going to happen in a year from now. Who knows?
Gloria Rivera, we love you.
Anthony Bakit.
I don't know what's gonna
Anthony Bakit. Anthony Bakit, we love you. Welcome, Anthony, to Jason is a Social Scientist on By Mouth Daily, pill number 574. People often wonder what the show is about. Communion. I hope I got your last name right. But right now, Anthony Bakit, it's about you. No, like I said, people often wonder what the show is about. The premise is deceptively simple. I take my HIV medication live on the Book of Face each day in front of friends, family, and strangers. I do so in order to embrace stigma, dispel ignorance, and find support. After 574 pills, 574 shows, a number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and around and about this show. The bells, bows, and other people, the people that come back night after night, that give me their most valuable resource, their time. To me, that's the most significant thing that's risen up and around and about the show, the community. Therein lies the support that I was looking for. But a number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and around and about the show. Ding dong bell, boy does she now. Hell, I mean, heck, this show has it all. I like to say that it is Cloud Atlas and that it incorporates at least 600 years of entertainment, with Edward R. Murrow's radio broadcasts on record and cylinders played on the 19th century Edison home phonograph, along with the nursery rhyme book from my childhood containing rhymes from the 15th century. It is, in a sense, also The Matrix. In a previous iteration of the show, I created something I call the Rainbow Tunnel, in which I harnessed the power of Grayskull and the Eye of Thundera, funneling them through a series of warped nacelles, creating a static warp bubble and a subsequent singularity. By Jerry punching a hole through the fourth wall, across the multiverse, and into the source. The show now takes place in an echo chamber, created by me, that serves as a way station between our reality out and the source. Across the multiverse, and into the source. The show now takes place in an echo chamber, created by me, that serves as a way station between our reality out and the source. I don't expect lay people to fully understand, as this is advanced social science. Yeah, so the show's also like an old-timey variety show, Carol Burnett style, mixed with a merry melody of Looney Tunes and a measure of Mork and Mindy, a dash of Mr. Ed, and two doses of Alice in Wonderland, a helping of Hee Haw, heaps of Benny Hill, a hint of the Highlander, tons of the Twilight Zone, a tincture of Teen Wolf, ow, 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 an ounce of Oz, it's awesome, Revolva. It's crazy. An ounce of Oz, a cup of Creep Show, and Castaway, a quart of Quantum Leap, and a gallon of Gilligan's Island. It's a 4-hour show and a 4-hour tour. Hi, Sean, I'm alright. Piles of Pee-wee's Playhouse, pinch of Peter Pan, a pound of Popeye, I am what I am, a whole block of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and a ration of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm just a sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania. Come up to the lab, see what's on the slab. I can see you shiver with anticipation. Touch me, I wanna be dirty. Thrill me, chill me, fuck. Fill me. Creature of the night, an undone Benjamin Button, a corny ear of Dumbo, a college tribe, I spy a couple raw strokes of Bob Ross, a spoonful of Mary Poppins, and the full Monty Python. Finally lump in Rick and Morty with a leader of I Love Lucy in the Sky with diamonds and wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. You've got the show. Everything is out of place and out of time. You're including and especially me. Alice will always be pregnant. Harambe will always be ready for her high fives. The first and the second coming will always be risen with you. Obamas getting blowjobs from the Woodies. The Superman and their boners will always be spinsters and sumptuouses working the sweatshop. The twin towers will always stand with Lady Liberty. You will have their MTV. Pigs will fly. Disco and dance will reign like men did in the days of old. I write nightly the future history of anachronism for your future children and your elderly grandparents. May they enjoy it now and time immemorial. If I'd have people take only one thing away from this show, it would be the knowledge that HIV is preventable. If you're HIV negative, there's a once-a-day pill you can take. They call it PrEP, pre-exposure protocol. The pill is Truvada, and if you're HIV negative, you take it once a day, and it works like a highly effective chemical condom. It prevents HIV. But if you're already HIV positive like me, treatment is prevention. By taking my medication every day and maintaining an undetectable viral load, it makes it so I'm not contagious. U equals U. Undetectable equals untransmissible. You could fuck me bareback all day long and never catch HIV from me. It's a brave new world. The future is now, and it's 1969. Free love. Woo. All right. I'll give Jerry, and then we'll give Laura. We'll give Laura a shout out too. Hi, Laura. Hi, Laura. Jerry, and then we'll give Laura a shout out too. Hi, Laura. Jerry Upgrader, we love you. We're gonna read soon. Laura Brando, we love you. Laura Brando, we love you. Laura Brando, we love you. Did I get a glass out already? When life hands you HIV, turn that shit into Kool-Aids. Turn that shit into we'll get you a shout out, Cindy Lou. Good night, Becca Roberts. Thank you. Thank you for being here. No such thing, Jerry. Cindy Lou, we love you. Good night, Matthew Joel Hansen. Good night, sir. We're gonna read a story soon here. Sorry, Christina. And drone. Yeah, I'm the latest and greatest model from Boston Dynamics and their Petman project. They've released me into testing in the real world to see if I can fool people. I don't even have a physical body. This is just a digital representation of. Never mind. Exactly like Westworld. Kool-Aids. Oh yeah. That's fun, Tracy. I saw a fairy when I smoked some DMT once. It was pretty fun. It was pretty fun. It's short acting, like 15 minutes. But I like most hallucinogens, it can make me nauseous. Nauseous. Yeah. Good night, Jerry. Thank you. You like the words, Jason? Eat. It's a hallucinogenic drug, like, it has similarities to LSD. It has differences, though, too. It has similarities to LSD. Like, most people will see. Well, Terence McKenna described them as mechanical elves. I saw them in the distance in the second time, but both times I broke through or whatever. Right? I saw like fairy, like there was like fluttering in front of me. And one time she went, because like somebody during the show said, "All right, explain what you're seeing," and I started to talk, and the fairy went, and she kept showing me this thing. And he said, like, yeah, I read about Terence McKenna's experiences afterwards too, and she kept showing me this like billboard basically with like different geometric designs on it, and every time she showed it, it looked different, and then she flew off, and then well, anyway, he said that they like urgently want to they want to urgently talk to you, these mechanical elves. Anyway, he said that they like urgently want to they want to urgently talk to you, these mechanical elves. And he said everybody will experience something similar, and I did. I spent and then another time. That's the way I was instructed to have like a breakthrough. Is like close your eyes when you smoke it, and then like the hallucinations that I experience are, you know, like if you close your eyes and just rub on your eye and like, or just or if you stare at a light and like look away, like that pattern that's left, you know, like that spot. That's like imagine that comes to life, right? That's like that's the monochrome television screen that you view the trip through, and it's sort of like it doesn't have like the high resolution of like and one time when I smoked it, like I was like then I opened my eyes, and that was like kind of like trippy and distorted in its own way. And then I closed my eyes, and that would still be a bright, vivid screen. And so it's like having no way to close your eyes, and that started to get really disorienting and nauseating for me and uncomfortable. I felt like Clockwork Orange, kind of like, hell, like, I just want to make it stop. I felt like Clockwork Orange, kind of like, hell, like, I just want to make it stop. Because one time I did acid and another time I did acid and DMT together, and yeah, I did. One of the times that I did back to back, I just like fell asleep, just fell totally. It was like I couldn't even. I was like, But the time that I did acid, I felt like I was traveling like a million miles an hour. Like my face is being rubbed off. I get to tell myself, you like doing this, you wanted to do this, you wanted to do this. Traveling like a million miles an hour. Like my face is being rubbed off. I get to tell myself, you like doing this, you wanted to do this, you wanted to do this. I know, I just mean like, or just I couldn't close my eyes is all I meant. But yes. I know, I just mean like, classical conditioning kind of stuff. I don't know, it's not very, I don't think it's even effective. Pretty silly, man. Pretty silly. I'm gonna give you a shout out, sir. Let's get silly, man. Pretty silly. Steve Rodriguez, we love you! Steve Rodriguez, we love you! Thank you. Welcome, Steve Rodriguez. Jason is a social scientist. My Mouth Daily, pill number 574. You might be wondering what the show is about. People often wonder what the show is about. And the premise is deceptively simple. I take my HIV medication live on the Book of Face each day in front of friends, family, and strangers. I do so in order to embrace stigma, dispel ignorance, and find support. After 574 pills, 574 shows, a number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and around and about the show. The bells, bows, and other people, the people that come back night after night and give me the most valuable resource, their time. To me, that's the most significant thing that's risen up and around and about the show, the community. Therein lies the support that I was looking for. But a number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and around and about the show. Stevie, Stevie, let's give you. Stevie, we love you. Stevie, we love you. Like I said, a number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and around and about the show. Ding dong bell, boy does she knell. Hell, I mean heck, the show has it all. I like to say that it is Cloud Atlas and that it incorporates at least 600 years of entertainment, with Edward R. Murrow's radio broadcasts on record. And cylinders played on a 19th century Edison home phonograph, along with the nursery rhyme book from my childhood containing rhymes from the 15th century. It is, in a sense, also The Matrix. In a previous iteration of the show, I created something I call the Rainbow Tunnel, in which I harnessed the power of Grayskull and the Eye of Thundera, funneling them through a series of warped nacelles, creating a static warp bubble at a subsequent singularity, punching a hole through the fourth wall, hey Joe, across the multiverse, and into the source. The show now takes place in an echo chamber created by me that serves as a way station between our reality and the source. I don't expect lay people to fully understand, as this is advanced social science. Yeah, so the show is also like an old-timey variety show, with Carol Burnett style mixed with the merry melody of Looney Tunes and a measure of Mork and Mindy, a dash of Mr. Ed, and two doses of Alice in Wonderland, a helping of Hee Haw, heaps of Benny Hill, a hint of the Highlander, tons of the Twilight Zone, a tincture of Teen Wolf, an ounce of Oz, a cup of Creep Show and Castaway, a quart of Quantum Leap, and a gallon of Gilligan's Island. It's a 4-hour show and a 4-hour tour. Piles of Pee-wee's Pirates, a pinch of Peter Pan, and a pound of Popeye. I am what I am. A whole block of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and a ration of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm just a sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania. Ha ha. Come up to the lab and see what's on the slab. I can see you shiver with anticipation. Touch me. I want to be dirty. Thrill me, chill me, fill me. Hi, August. Hi, Courtney. Thrill me, chill me, fill me. Creature. Oh, thank you, Tracy. Creature of the night, an undone Benjamin Button, a corny ear of Dumbo, a college tribe I spy, a couple of raw strokes of Bob Ross, a spoonful of Mary Poppins, and the full Monty Python. Finally lump in Rick and Morty with a liter of I Love Lucy in the Sky with diamonds, and wham, ma'am, thank you, ma'am. You've got the show. Everything is out of place and out of time here, including and especially me. Alice will always be pregnant. Harambe will always be ready for her I-5s, the first and the second coming. Will always be risen with the Obamas getting blowjobs from the Woodies and Supermen, and their boners will always be spinsters and sumptuouses working the sweatshop. The twin towers will always stand with Lady Liberty. You will have their MTV. Pigs will fly. Disco and dance will reign like men did in the days of old. I write nightly the future history of anachronism for your future children and your elderly grandparents. May they enjoy it now and time immemorial. If I'd have people take only one thing away from this show, it would be the knowledge that HIV is preventable. If you're HIV negative, there's a once-a-day pill you can take. They call it PrEP, pre-exposure protocol. The pill is Truvada, and if you're HIV negative, you take it once a day, and it works like a highly effective chemical condom and prevents HIV. But if you're already HIV positive like me, treatment is prevention. By taking my medication every day and maintaining an undetectable viral load, it makes it so I'm not contagious. U equals U. Undetectable equals untransmissible. You could fuck me bareback all day long and never catch HIV from me. It's a brave new world. The future is now, and it's 1969. Free love. Woo. Communion. I recognize that picture. Dang it. You guys want to see my Woody? Is your Woody think it's so big it should be the only one in town? I think there's room for a couple Woodies in my town. A wagon train. Oh, yeah. Oh, not a snake in your boot. I'm just happy to see all these people. All right. Dang it. Oh, not a snake in your boot. I'm just happy to see all these people. There he is. Scrody McBooger Balls. What are you up to, sir? There he is. New word of the day. We're gonna have to break out the new words of the day soon. New word of the day. We're gonna have to break out the new words of the day soon. You think so, Joe? hot ado.
Think so, Joe?
Before I bid you adieu, let's do it real hot. Let's have hot sex before I bid you adieu.
I bid you adieu. Do it, bro. Let's have hot sex before.
All right. Dang it. Is that much ado about nothing? Don't bid someone adieu, do you? Much ado. Some would do. Maybe just a little ado. Let's make it hot. We're gonna. I'm from Baraboo. I was born in Baraboo, Wisconsin, and I live in Madison, Wisconsin.
Make it hot.
Thank you, Ikea.
Well, I'm from Baraboo. I was born in Baraboo, Wisconsin.
Hi, Rick. Hey, Morgan. Yeah, Joe, let's get real people out. Let's give August Johnson. You're not the first person to think that, Morgan. Cindy Lou just said that too. She said a little shop. My kitchen. Okay. August Johnson, we love you. Sure, Morgan. I've got a fair number of regulars. I've got some people that come in from from pill number 1 even. We got some people that come in from pill number 1 even. I never purposely ignore a comment, August. I never purposely ignore a comment. I'm glad I saw it this time. We can have an auction pretty soon, Nathan. I love you too, Nikki Whited. You have cats, right, Rick? You have cats, right, Rick? It's the same Rick, right? You lived through the hurricane with them. Michael? Is it Michael? Is it Michael Murray? That sounds familiar. You've been here before, yeah. I remember now. No, we love Eminem. Sure. Sure, sure.
No, we don't have enough.
Oh, I'm sorry, Rick. Michael Murray, we love you. Michael Murray, Michael Murray, we love you. Michael,
Michael Murray, we love you.
Michael Murray, we love you. Michael Murray, we love you. Michael Murray, we love you. Michael right there. Morgan Ronan, we love you. Morgan Ronan, we love you. Nathan won the couch auction, right? Okay, so this lovely couch here, lot number 69, a lovely shade of light red. It comes with, pun intended, it comes with not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, 6 cum stains. 6 cum stains. It opens up. Any troll who buys it. It comes with 4 friends. We love you. I love you too, Ingrid. And then any troll who buys it. Comes with 4 friends. We love you. Inside. Dang it. All right. Oh, that's cool. You make some homemade food, man. Or at least you got some homemade food. Pen stains, we're working on it, man. We're working on it. Keep coming back, man. Bidding starts at $350. Catherine Jacobson. Hello, Robert Lynch. Hello. Let's do a little dance. Catherine Jacobson. Hello, Robert Lynch. Hello. Do a little dance. This is I'll dance you. Good, Lisa. You were been patient. You asked for a long time, and you're still here. You asked a long time ago, and we're still here. I appreciate that. All right, we gotta find which chapter we were on here, though. All right, we gotta find which chapter we were on here, though. Chapter 37. This is Ham on Rye by Charles Bukowski. But there were some good moments. My sometime friend from the neighborhood, Gene, who was a year older than I, had a buddy, Harry Gibson, who had had one professional fight he'd lost. I was over at Gene's one afternoon smoking cigarettes with him when Harry Gibson showed up with 2 pairs of boxing gloves. Gene and I were smoking with his two older brothers, Larry and Dan. Harry Gibson was cocky. "Anybody want to try me?" he asked. Nobody said anything. Gene's oldest brother, Larry, was about 22. He was the biggest, but he was kind of timid and subnormal. He had a huge head. He was short and stocky, really well built, but everything frightened him. So we all looked at Dan, who was the next oldest, since Larry said, No, I don't want to fight. Dan was a musical genius, but he almost won a scholarship, but not quite. Anyhow, Larry had passed up Harry's challenge. Dan put the gloves on with Harry Gibson. Harry Gibson was a son of a bitch on shining wheels. Even the sun glinted off his gloves in a certain way. He moved with precision, aplomb, and grace. He pranced and danced around Dan. Somebody look up aplomb? A-P-L-O-M-B. Gibson's first punch streaked in. It cracked like a rifle shot. Then there were some chickens in a pen in the yard, and 2 of them jumped in the air at the sound. Dan spilled backwards. He was stretched out on the grass. Both of his arms spread out like some cheap Christ. Larry looked at him and said, "I'm going into the house." He walked quickly to the screen door, opened it, and was gone. He walked over to Dan. Gibson stood over him with a little grin on his face. Gene bent down, lifted Dan's head up a bit. "Dan, you all right?" Dan shook his head and slowly sat up. "Jesus Christ, the guy's carrying a lethal weapon. Get these gloves off me." Dan, you all right? Dan shook his head and slowly sat up. "Jesus Christ, the guy's carrying a lethal weapon." Gene unlaced one glove and I got the other. Dan stood up and walked toward the back door like an old man. "I'm going to lay down." He went inside. Harry Gibson picked up the gloves and looked at Gene. "How about it, Gene?" Gene spit in the grass. "What the hell are you trying to do? Knock off the whole family?" "I know you're the best fighter, Gene, but I'll go easy on you anyhow." Gene nodded and I laced his gloves for him. I was a good glove man. They squared off. Gibson circled around Gene, getting ready. He circled to the right, then he circled to the left. He bobbed and he weaved. Then he stepped in, gave Gene a hard left jab. It landed right between Gene's eyes. Gene backpedaled and Gibson followed. When he got Gene up against the chicken pen, he steadied him with a soft left to the forehead and cracked a hard right to Gene's temple. Gene slid along the chicken wire until he hit the fence. Then he slid along the fence, covering up. He wasn't attempting to fight back. Dan came out of the house with a piece of ice wrapped in a rag. He sat on the porch steps, held to his forehead. Gene retreated along the fence. Harry got him in the corner between the fence and the garage. He looped it left to Gene's gut, and when Gene bent over, he straightened him with a right uppercut. I didn't like it. Gibson wasn't going easy on him like he promised. I got excited. "Hit that fucker back, Gene. He's yellow. Hit him." Gibson lowered his gloves, looked at me, and walked over. "What did you say, punk?" "I was rooting my man on," I said. Dan was getting the gloves off. "Gene, I hear something about being yellow. You said you were going to go easy on him. You didn't. You're hitting him with every shot you got." "You call me a liar?" "I'm saying you don't keep your word. Come on over here and put the gloves on this punk." Gene and Dan came over and began putting the gloves on me. "Take it easy on this guy, Hank," Gene said. "Remember, he's all tired out from fighting us." Gene and I fought bare-fisted one memorable day from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Gene had done pretty good. I had small hands, and if you have small hands, you either got to be able to hit hard as hell or else be some kind of a boxer. I was only a little bit of each. The next day, my entire body was purple with bruises. I had 2 fat lips and a couple of loose front teeth. Now I had to fight the guy who had just whipped the guy who had whipped me. Gibson circled to the left, then the right, then he moved in on me. I didn't see the left jab at all. I don't know where it caught me, but I went down from the left jab. It hadn't hurt, but I was down. I got up. If the left could do that, what would the right do? I had to figure something out. Harry Gibson began to circle to the left, my left. Instead of circling to my right, like he expected, I circled to my left. He looked surprised as we came together. I looped a wild left, which caught him high and hard on the head. It felt great. If you can hit a guy once, you can hit him twice. Then we were facing each other, and he came straight at me. Gibson got me with a jab, but as he hit me, I ducked my head down and to one side as quickly as I could. His right swung around over the top, missing. I moved into him and clinched, giving a rabbit punch. We broke, and I felt like a pro. You can take him, Hank, yelled Gene. Go get him, Hank, yelled Dan. I rushed Gibson and tried a right lead. I missed, and his left cross flashed on my jaw. I saw green and yellow and red lights. Then he dug a right to my belly. It felt like it went through to my backbone. I grabbed him and clinched, but I wasn't frightened for a change, and that felt good. I'll kill you, fucker, I told him. Then it was just head-to-head, no more boxing. His punches came hard and fast. He was more accurate, had more power, yet I was landing some hard shots too. It made me feel good. The more he hit me, the less I felt. I had my gut sucked in. I liked the action. Then Gene and Dan between us, they pulled us apart. What's wrong, I asked. Don't stop this thing. I can take this ass. Cut the shit, Hank, said Gene. Look at yourself. I looked down. The front of my shirt was dark with blood, and there were splotches of pus. The punches had broken open 3 or 4 boils. That had happened in my fight with Gene. That's nothing, I said. That's just bad luck. He hasn't hurt me. Give me a chance, and I'll come down. No, Hank, you'll get an infection or something, said Gene. All right, shit, I said. Cut the gloves off me. Gene unlaced me. When he got the gloves off, I noticed that my hands were trembling, and also my arms to a lesser extent. I put my hands in my pockets. Dan took Harry's gloves off. Harry looked at me. You're pretty good, kid. Thanks. Well, I'll see you guys. I walked off. As I walked away, I took my hands in my pockets. Then, up the driveway, just at the sidewalk, I stopped, pulled out a cigarette, stuck it in my mouth. When I tried to strike a match, my hands were trembling so much I couldn't do it. I gave them a wave, a real nonchalant wave, and walked away. Back at the house, I looked at myself in the mirror. Pretty damn good. I was coming along. I took off my shirt and threw it under the bed. I had to find a way to clean the blood off. I didn't have many shirts, and they noticed a missing one right away. But for me, it had finally been a successful day, and I hadn't had too many of those. Chapter 38. Abe Mortensen was bad enough to be around, but he was just a fool. You can forgive a fool because he only runs in one direction and doesn't deceive anybody. It's the deceivers who make you feel bad. Jimmy Hatcher had straight black hair, fair skin. He wasn't as big as I was, but he kept his shoulders back, dressed better than most of us, and he had a way of getting along with anybody he felt like getting along with. His mother was a barmaid, and his father had committed suicide. Jimmy had a nice smile, perfect teeth, and the girls liked him, even though he didn't have the money the rich guys had. I would always see him talking to some girl. I don't know what he said to them. I don't know what any of the guys said to any of them. The girls were impossibly out of reach for me, so I pretended they didn't exist. But Hatcher was another matter. I knew he wasn't a fairy, but he kept hanging around. Listen, Jimmy, why do you follow me around? I don't like anything about you. Ah, come on, Hank, we're friends. Yeah? Yes. He even got up in English class and read an essay called The Value of Friendship, and while he was reading it, he kept glancing at me. It was a stupid essay, soft and standard, but the class applauded, and when he finished, I thought, well, that's what people think, and what can you do about it? I wrote a counter-essay called The Value of No Friendship at All. The teacher let me read it to the class. She gave me a D. Jimmy and Baldy and I walked home together from high school each day. Abe Mortensen lived in the other direction, so that saved us from having to walk with him. One day we were walking along, and Jimmy said, "Hey, let's go to my girlfriend's house. I want you to meet her." "Aw, balls, fuck that," I said. No, said Jimmy. "She's a nice girl. I want you to meet her." I finger-fucked her. I'd seen this girl, Ann Weatherton. She was really beautiful, long brown hair and large brown eyes, quiet, and with a good figure. I'd never spoken to her, and I knew she was Jimmy's girl. The rich guys had tried to hit on her, but she ignored them. She looked like she was first-rate. "I've got the key to her house," said Jimmy. "We'll go there and wait for her. She's got a late class." "Sounds dull to me," I said. Come on, Hank," said Baldy. You're just going to go home and whack off anyhow. "That's not always without its merits," I said. Jimmy opened the front door with his key, and we walked in. A nice, clean little house. A small black and white bulldog ran up to Jimmy, wagging its stub tail. "This is Bones," said Jimmy. "Bones loves me. Watch this." Jimmy spat in the palm of his right hand and grabbed Bones' penis and began rubbing it. "Hey, what the fuck you doing?" asked Baldy. They keep Bones on a leash in the yard. He never gets any. He needs release." Jimmy worked away. Bones' penis got disgustingly red, a thin, long string of dripping inanity. Bones began making whimpering sounds. Jimmy looked up as he worked away. How you want to know? Hey, you want to know what our song is? I mean, Anne's song and my song? It's when the deep purple falls over sleepy garden walls. Then Bones was making it. The sperm spurted out in the carpet. Jimmy stood up and with the sole of his shoe rubbed the cum into the nap of the carpet. "I'm gonna fuck Anne one of these days. It's getting close. She said she loves me, and I love her too. I love her goddamn cunt." "You prick," I told Jimmy. "You make me sick." "I know you don't mean that, Hank," he said. Jimmy walked in the kitchen. "She's got a nice family. She lives here with her father, mother, and brother. Her brother knows I'm going to fuck her. He's right. But there's nothing he can do about it because I can beat the shit out of him. He's nothing. Hey, watch this." Jimmy opened the refrigerator door and pulled out a bottle of milk. At our place, we still had an ice box. The Weathertons were obviously a well-off family. Jimmy pulled out his cock and then peeled the cardboard cap of the milk and put his cock in there. "Just a little, you know. They'll never taste it, but they'll be drinking my piss." Pulled his cock out, capped the bottle, shook it, and placed it back in the refrigerator. "Now," he said, "here's some Jell-O. They're going to eat Jell-O for dessert tonight. They're also going to eat." He took the bowl of Jell-O and held it, and we heard a key in the front door, and the front door opening. Jimmy quickly put the Jell-O back into the refrigerator and closed the door. Then Anne walked into the kitchen. "Anne," said Jimmy, "I want you to meet my good friends Hank and Baldy." Hi. This one's Baldy, the other guy's Hank. Hi. I've seen you guys around campus." "Oh yeah?" I said. "We're around there, and we've seen you too." "Yeah," said Baldy. Jimmy looked at Anne. "You all right, baby?" "Yes, Jimmy, I've been thinking about you." She moved toward him, and they embraced, and then they were kissing. They were standing right in front of us as they were kissing. Jimmy was facing us. We could see his right eye. It winked. "Well," I said, "we've got to get going." "Yeah," said Baldy. We walked out of the kitchen, through the front room, and out of there. We walked down the sidewalk towards Baldy's place. "That guy's really got it made," said Baldy. "Yeah," I said. "We've got to get going." "Yeah," said Baldy. We walked out of the kitchen, through the front room, and out of there. We walked down the sidewalk towards Baldy's place. "That guy's really got it made," said Baldy. "Yeah," I said. Chapter 39. One Sunday, Jimmy talked me into going to the beach with him. He wanted to go swimming. I didn't want to be seen wearing swimming trunks because my back was covered with boils and scars. Outside of that, I had a good body, but nobody would notice that. I had a good chest and great legs, but nobody would see that. There was nothing to do. I didn't have any money, and the guys didn't play in the streets on Sunday. I decided that the beach belonged to everybody. I had a right. My scars and boils weren't against the law. So we got on our bikes and started out. It was 15 miles. That didn't bother me. I had the legs. I breezed with Jimmy all the way to the Culver City, and I gradually began to pedal faster. Jimmy pumped, trying to keep up. I could see him getting winded. I pulled out a cigarette and lit it, held out a pack to him. "Want one, Jim?" "Oh, thanks." I speed shooting birds with a BB gun, I told him. "We ought to do this more often." I began pumping harder. I still had plenty of reserve strength. "This really gets it," I told him. "This beat's whacking off." "Hey, slow up a little." I looked back at him. "There's nothing like a good friend to go biking with. Come on, friend." And I gave it all I had and pulled away. The wind was blowing in my face. It felt good. "Hey, wait, goddammit!" yelled Jimmy. I started laughing and really opened up. Soon Jim was half a block, 2 blocks. Nobody knew how good I was. Nobody knew what I could do. I was some kind of miracle. The sun tossed yellow everywhere, and I cut through it, a crazy knife on wheels. My father was a beggar in the streets of India, but all the women in the world loved me. I was traveling at full speed as I reached the signals. I shot through inside the row of waiting cars. Now even the cars were back there behind me, but not for long. A guy and his girl in a green coupe pulled up and drove alongside me. "Hey, kid." "Yeah?" I looked at him. He was a big guy in his 20s with hairy arms and a tattoo. "Where the fuck do you think you're going?" he asked me. He was trying to show off in front of his girl. She was a looker, with long blonde hair blowing in the wind. "Up yours, buddy," I told him. "What?" He said, "Up yours." I gave him the finger. He kept driving alongside me. "You're gonna take shit off that, kid." You gonna take shit off that kid, Nick? I heard the girl ask him. He kept driving along beside me. Hey, kid, I said. I didn't quite hear what you said. Would you mind saying that again? Yeah, I said. Yeah, say that again, said the looker, long blonde hair blowing in the wind. That pissed me. She pissed me. I looked at him. All right, you want trouble? Park it. I'm trouble. He zoomed ahead of me about half a block, parked, and swung the door open. As he got out, I swung wide around him and almost into the path of a Chevy. Gave me the horn. As I swung around into the side street, I could hear the big guy laughing. After the guy was gone, I wheeled back onto Washington Boulevard, just a few blocks, got off the bike and waited for Jim on a bus stop bench. I could see him coming along. When he pulled up, I pretended that I was asleep. Come on, Hank, don't give me that shit. Oh, hello, Jim, you here? I tried to get Jim to pick a spot on the beach where there weren't too many people. I felt normal people standing there in my shirt. I felt normal standing there in my shirt, but when I undressed, I was exposed. I hated the other bathers for their unmarred bodies. I hated all the goddamn people who were sunbathing or in the water or eating or sleeping or talking or throwing beach balls. I hated their behinds and their faces and their elbows and their hair and their eyes and their belly buttons and their bathing suits. I stretched out in the sand thinking, I should have punched that fat son of a bitch. What the hell did he know? Jim stretched out beside me. What the hell, he said. Let's go swimming. Not yet, I said. The water was full of people. What was the fascination of the beach? Why did people like the beach? Did they have anything better to do? What chicken-brained fuckers they were. Just think, said Jim. Women go into the water and they piss in there. Yeah, and you swallow it. It would never be a way for me to live comfortably with people. Maybe I'd become a monk. I'd pretend to believe in God and live in a cubicle, play an organ, and stay drunk on wine. Nobody would fuck with me. I could go into a cell for months of meditation where I wouldn't have to look at anybody and they could just send in the wine. The trouble was, the black robes were pure wool. They were worse than the ROTC uniforms. I couldn't wear them. I have to think of something else. Oh, said Jim. What is it? There are some girls down there looking at us. So what? They're talking and laughing. They may come down here. Yeah? Yeah, and if they start coming over, I'll warn you. When I do, turn on your back. My chest had only a few boils and scars. Don't forget, said Jim. When I warn you, turn over on your back. I heard you. I had my head down in my arms. I knew that Jim was looking at the girls and smiling. He had a way with them. Simple cunts, he said. They're really stupid. Why did I come here, I thought. Why is it I always only a matter of choosing between something bad and something worse? Oh, Hank, here they come. I looked up. There were 5 of them. I rolled over on my back. They walked up giggling and stood there. One of them said, Hey, these guys are cute. You guys live around here? Jim asked. Oh, yeah, one of them said. We nest with the seagulls. They giggled. Well, said Jim, we're eagles. I'm not sure we'd know what to do with 5 seagulls. How do birds do it anyhow? One of them asked. Damned if I know, Jim said. Maybe we can find out. Why don't you guys come over to our blanket? One of them asked. Sure, Jim said. 3 of the girls had spoken. The other 2 had just stood there pulling the bathing suits down over what they didn't want seen. Count me out, I said. What's wrong with your friend? Asked one of the girls who had been covering her ass. Jim said, He's strange. What's wrong with him? Asked the last girl. He's just strange, said Jim. He got up and walked off with the girls. I closed my eyes and listened to the waves. Thousands of fish out there eating each other. Endless mouths and assholes swallowing and shitting. The whole earth was nothing but mouths and assholes swallowing and shitting and fucking. I rolled over and watched Jim with the 5 girls. He was standing up, sticking his chest out and showing off his balls. He didn't have my barrel chest and big legs. He was slim and neat, with that black hair and that little nasty mouth with perfect teeth, and his little round ears and his long neck. I didn't have a neck, not much of one anyway. My head seemed to sit on my shoulders, but I was strong and mean. Not good enough. The ladies liked dandies. If it weren't for the boils and scars, though, I'd be down there now showing them a thing or two. I'd flash my balls for them, bringing them their dead, airheaded minds to attention. Me, with my 50 cents a week life. Then I saw the girls leap up and follow Jim into the water. I heard them giggling and screaming like mindless. What? No, they were nice. They weren't like grown-ups and parents. They laughed. Things were funny. They weren't afraid to care. There was no sense to life, to structure of things. D.H. Lawrence had known that. You needed love, but not the kind of love most people used and were used up by. Old DH had known something. His buddy Huxley was just an intellectual fidget, but what a marvelous one. Better than G.B. Shaw with that hard keel of a mind always scraping bottom. His labored wit finally only a task, a burden on himself, preventing him from really feeling anything. His brilliant speech finally a bore, scraping the mind and the sensibilities. It was good to read them all, though. It made you realize that thoughts and words could be fascinating, if finally useless. Jim was splashing water on the girls. He was the water god, and they loved him. He was the possibility and the promise. He was great. He knew how to do it. I had read many books, but he had read a book that I had never read. He was an artist with his little pair of bathing trunks and his balls and his wicked look around his round ears. He was the best. I couldn't challenge him any more than I could have challenged that big son of a bitch in the green coupe with the looker, whose hair floated in the wind. They both had got what they deserved. I was just a 50-cent turd floating around in the green ocean of life. I watched them come out of the water, glistening, smooth-skinned and young, undefeated. I wanted them to want me, but never out of pity. Yet, despite their smooth, untouched bodies and minds, they were still missing something because they were, as yet, basically untested. When adversity finally arrived in their lives, it might come too late or too hard. I was ready, maybe. I watched Jim toweling off, using one of their towels. As I watched, somebody's child, a boy of about 4, came along, picked up a handful of sand and threw it in my face. Then he just stood there, glowering his sandy, stupid little mouth, puckered in some kind of victory. He was a daring, darling little shit. I wiggled my finger for him to come closer. Come. He just stood there. Little boy, I said, come here, I have a bag of candy-covered shit for you to eat. The fucker looked, turned, and ran off. He had a stupid ass, 2 little pear-shaped buttocks wobbling, almost disjointed. But another enemy gone. Then Jim, the lady killer, was back. He stood there over me, glowering also. They're gone, he said. I looked down to where the 5 girls had been, and sure enough, they were gone. Where'd they go? I asked. Who gives a fuck? I've got the phone numbers of the 2 best ones. Best ones for what? For fucking, you jerk. I stood up. I think I'll deck you, you jerk. His face looked good in the sea wind. I could already see him knocked down, squirming on the sand, kicking up his white-bottomed feet. Jim backed off. Take it easy, Hank. Look, you can have their phone numbers. Keep them. I don't have your goddamn dumb ears. Okay, we're friends, remember? We walked up the beach to the strand where we had our bicycles locked behind someone's beach house. As we walked along, we both knew whose day it had been, and knocking somebody on their ass could not have changed that, although it might have helped, but not enough. All the way home on our bikes, I didn't try to show them up as I had earlier. I needed something more. Maybe I need that blonde in that green coupe with her long hair blowing in the wind. All the way home on our bikes, I didn't try to show them up as I had earlier. I needed something more. How much time do we have left? That blonde in that green coupe with her long hair blowing in the wind. We started at 10, I think, right? I have an hour and 45 minutes left. Which kid is that? I got some Twizzlers pulling PO. Which kid is that? Ah, thank you, Lisa. Lisa Jean Marie. Self-assured. Pulling PO. Ah, thank you, Lisa. Lisa Jean Marie. That's fun, Don. I hope you're having a good time. Definitely.
We're having a good time.
I'm sorry, Rick.
Definitely. I'm sorry, Rick.
Let us know how. Keep us updated. I hope everything's okay.
Let us know. Keep us updated. I hope everything's okay.
Mmm. Squalls. Squalls.
Squalls.
Okay. That's a word, isn't it? That's awesome. All right. Doesn't that happen in a storm?
That's awesome. All right. Doesn't that happen in a storm?
I have to show Jack all the comments from today. Jay, you can try logging out on Facebook and logging back in.
I have to show Jack all the comments from today.
Sometimes they'll clear the cache.
Jay, you can try logging out on Facebook and logging back in. Sometimes they'll clear the cache. Jay, you can try logging out on Facebook and logging back in.
I just got a book out.
I just got a book out.
Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Rice is just such a good name already.
I don't know, Rice is just such a good name already. Rice is just such a good name already.
It's working now, though. You can always try logging out of Facebook and logging back in if it's not video's not working.
It's working now, though. You can always try logging out of Facebook and logging back in if it's not video's not working.
Shane is sad. Just give him a shout out. Cheer him up.
Shane is sad. Just give him a shout out. Cheer him up.
Shane D, we love you. Shane D, we love you. Shane D, we love you. Dang it, dang it. Slick Rick? Well, like that. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Book out, I love you. Rock out with your book out. Communion. Squalls, I love you too. If you're gonna make a do about something, you might as well be hot when you do it. Might as well be hot to do. If you're gonna make a do about something, you might as well be hot when you do it. Hot to do. Gotta be hot when you're making a do. Let's see. Kids are good motivation. Dang it, dang it, dang it. How old are you, Rick? I mean, Slick Rick? Hey, Creole, Creole. That's pretty young. That's pretty young. Ah, mosquito. Dang it to heck, I'm gonna get him when he comes back around. No, no. Haven't thought that far ahead. No, I don't think I'll be fast enough to get it with the lighter. I mean, but he seems to have disappeared now. All right. I don't think I'll be fast enough to get it with the lighter. I mean, he seems to have disappeared now. All right.
Jane, we love you.
39 now. I have a baby face, it's true. I don't think that's true, Stephanie. Not for everybody.
My wife, Charlotte.
Thomas, Tori, we love you.
Thomas, Tori, we love you. Thomas, Tori, we love you. Thomas, Tori, we love you.
Thomas, welcome to Jason is a Social Scientist. Thanks. Pill number 574. People often wonder what the show is about. Welcome to Jason is a Social Scientist. Thanks. Pill number 574. The premise is deceptively simple. I'm scoping out a mosquito. I take my HIV medication live on the Book of Face each day in front of friends, family, and strangers. I do so in order to embrace stigma, dispel ignorance, and find support. After 500 and... Did I get it? No. After 574 pills, 574 shows, a number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and around and about the show. The bells, bows, and other people, the people that come back night after night, and hi Tammy, they give me the most valuable resource, their time. To me, that's the most significant thing that's risen up and around and about the show. The community. Therein lies the support that I was looking for. But a number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and around and about the show. Ding dong bell, boy does she now hell. I mean, heck, this show has it all. I like to say that it is Cloud Atlas and that it incorporates at least 600 years of entertainment, with Edward R. Murrow's radio broadcast on record and cylinders played on a 19th century Edison home phonograph, along with a nursery rhyme book from my childhood containing woodcut illustrations from the 15th century. It is, in a sense, also The Matrix. In a previous iteration of the show, I created something I call the Rainbow Tunnel, in which I harnessed the power of Grayskull and the Eye of Thundera, funneling them through a series of warped nacelles, creating a static warp bubble and a subsequent singularity, punching a hole through the fourth wall, across the multiverse, and into the source. The show now takes place in an echo chamber created by me that serves as a way station between our reality and the source. I don't expect lay people to fully understand as this is advanced social science. Yeah, so the show is also like an old-timey variety show, Carol Burnett style, mixed with a merry melody of Looney Tunes and a measure of Mork and Mindy, a dash of Mr. Ed, and two doses of Alice in Wonderland, a helping of Hee Haw, heaps of Benny Hill, a hint of the Highlander, tons of the Twilight Zone, a tincture of Teen Wolf, ow, 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 an ounce of Oz, a cup of Creep Show and Castaway, a quart of Quantum Leap, and a gallon of Gilligan's Island. It's a 4-hour show and a 4-hour tour. Piles of Pee-wee's Playhouse, a pinch of Peter Pan, and a pound of Popeye. I am what I am. A whole block of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and a ration of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm just a sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania. Ha ha. Come up to the lab, see what's on the slab. I can see you shiver with anticipation. Come up to the lab, see what's on the slab. Touch me, I wanna be dirty. Thrill me, chill me, fill me. Creature of the night. An undone Benjamin Button, a corny ear of Dumbo, a college try of I Spy, a couple of raw strokes of Bob Ross, a spoonful of Mary Poppins, and the full Monty Python. Finally lump in Rick and Morty with a liter of I Love Lucy in the sky with diamonds, and wham, ma'am, thank you, ma'am, you got the show. Everything is out of place and out of time here, including and especially me. Alice will always be pregnant. Harambe will always be ready for Harai 5 the first. On the second coming will always be risen. With the Obamas getting blowjobs from the Woodies, the Supermen and their boners will always be spinsters and sempstresses. Working the sweatshop, the twin towers will always stand with Lady Liberty. You will have their MTV. Pigs will fly. Disco and dance will reign like men did in the days of old. I write nightly the future history of anachronism for your future children and your elderly grandparents. May they enjoy it now and time immemorial. If I'd have people take only one thing away from this show, it would be the knowledge that HIV is preventable. If you're HIV negative, there's a once-a-day pill you can take. They call it PrEP, pre-exposure protocol. The pill is Truvada, and if you're HIV negative, you take it once a day, and it works like a highly effective chemical condom. But if you're already HIV positive like me, treatment is prevention. By taking my medication every day and maintaining an undetectable viral load, it makes it so I'm not contagious. U equals U. Undetectable equals untransmissible. You could fuck me bareback all day long and never catch HIV from me. It's a brave new world. The future is now, and it's 1969. Free love. Engage mini fireplace. Good night, squalls. Night book out. These are Doritos. All right. These are Doritos. No, book out's not checking out. We're keeping her until she's overdue. Good night, Rick. That's what I mean. To the untrained eye, people often mistake them as Obama posters, but I prefer to think of them as fairy prints. They're fairy prints.
People often mistake them as Obama posters, but I prefer to think of them as fairy prints. They're fairy prints.
I just take people at face value. Even trolls, I just Scrody McBoogerballs. I'm sure that's his real name. I just take it. I just.
Scrody McBoogerballs. I'm sure that's his real name. I just take it.
Tori, we love you.
Alright, go get the echo chamber.
It's a fact, you got a special lady, so make her
Is it just a commercial on my video? What the heck was that? What's it to you, Troy? What's it to you? Hi, Misty. I'm gonna have a bowl of Wheaties. Diana, that's cool.
So they can fly, man. So they can fly. Better to fly with, my dear.
Sophie's a boxer.
Tori, we love you.
Let's see. Troy Lyons, you wanna know what the show, what's going on here? Matt Faxon? You wanna know what's going on here? Matt Faxon? Matt Faxon, we love you. Cheyenne, of course. So, people often wonder what the show is about. The premise is deceptively simple. I take my HIV medication. Live on the Book of Face each day in front of friends, family, and strangers. Good night, Rick. Slick Rick. I do so in order to embrace stigma, dispel ignorance, and find support. After 574 pills, 574 shows, a number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and round and about the show. After 574 pills, 574 shows, a number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and round and about the show. The bells, bows, and other people, the people that come back night after night and give me the most valuable resource, their time. To me, that's the most significant thing that's risen up and around and about the show. Why don't you wear wings, Troy? But a number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and around and about the show. Ding dong bell. What is she now? Hell, I mean, heck, this show has it all. I like to say that it is Cloud Atlas, and that incorporates at least 600 years of entertainment, with Edward R. Murrow's radio broadcasts on record, and cylinders played on a 19th century Edison home phonograph. Along with the nursery rhyme book from my childhood, containing woodcut illustrations from the 15th century. Along with the nursery rhyme book from my childhood, containing woodcut illustrations from the 15th century. It is, in a sense, also the Matrix. In a previous iteration of the show, I created something I call the Rainbow Tunnel, in which I harnessed the power of Grayskull and the Eye of Thundera, funneling them through a series of warped nacelles, creating a static warp bubble and a subsequent singularity. Punching a hole through the fourth wall, across the multiverse, and into the source. Punching a hole through the fourth wall, across the multiverse, and into the source. The show now takes place in an echo chamber. Oh, I'm sorry, Blake. Created by me, that serves as a way station between our reality and the source. The show now takes place in an echo chamber. Oh, I'm sorry, Blake. Created by me, that serves as a way station between our reality and the source. I don't expect lay people to fully understand, as this is advanced social science. Cuddle up with Misty if you can. Yeah, so the show is also like an old-timey variety show. Carol Burnett style. With merry melody of Looney Tunes and a measure of Mork and Mindy. A dash of Mr. Ed and 2 doses of Alice in Wonderland. A helping of Hee Haw, heaps of Benny Hill, a hint of the Highlander, tons of the Twilight Zone. A tincture of Teen Wolf. Oh, an ounce of Oz, a cup of Creep Show and Castaway. A quarter quantum leap and a gallon of Gilligan's Island. It's a 4-hour show and a 4-hour tour. Piles of Pee-wee's Playhouse, a pinch of Peter Pan, and a pound of Popeye. I am what I am. He said Tinkerbell. It's a pinch of Peter Pan. A pound of Popeye, a pound of Popeye. I am what I am. A whole block of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and a ration of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm just a sweet transvestite from transsexual in Transylvania. Ha ha. Come up to the lab, see what's on the slab. I can see you shiver with anticipation. Touch me, I wanna be dirty. Thrill me, chill me, fill me. Preacher of the night. An undone Benjamin Button, a corny ear of Dumbo, a college try of I Spy, a couple of raw strokes of Bob Ross, a spoonful of Mary Poppins, the full Monty Python, and finally lump in Rick and Morty with a leader of I Love Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, and wham bam, thank you ma'am, you got the show. Everything is out of place and out of time here, including and especially me. Alice will always be pregnant. Harambe will always be ready for our arrival. The first and the second coming always be risen with the Obamas getting blowjobs from the Woodies. The Superman and their boners will always be spinsters. And Sumptuous is working the sweatshop. The Twin Towers always stand with Lady Liberty. You will have their MTV. Pigs will fly. Disco and dance will reign like men did in the days of old. I write nightly the future history of anachronism for your future children and your elderly grandparents. May they enjoy it now and time immemorial. If I had people take only one thing away from this show, it would be the knowledge that HIV is preventable. If you're HIV negative, there's a once-a-day pill you can take. They call it PrEP, pre-exposure protocol. The pill is Truvada, and if you're HIV negative, you take it once a day, and it works like a highly effective chemical condom. It prevents HIV. But if you're already HIV positive like me, treatment is prevention. By taking my medication every day and maintaining an undetectable viral load, it makes it so I'm not contagious. U equals U. Undetectable equals untransmissible. You could fuck me bareback all day long and never catch HIV from me. It's a brave new world. The future is now, and it's 1969. Free love. Yay, Matt Baxon, hi. Thank you, Jenna. Jenna Roebuck, we love you. I'm a nurse too, and so's my wife. Robot's a nurse Hey, Pete, and repeat. Good to see you. How you been?
Hey, Pete, repeat.
Love you too, Blake.
Jenna Roebuck, we love you.
I didn't see what happened to Pete. It's getting dark in here. It's always okay to reach out for help. Mental illness can be an emergency, and
Always okay to
you can always present yourself to the ER.
mental emergency. Always present yourself to the ER.
I'm sucking it, Wolfie. Mm-hmm. Thanks, Jenna. That's good, Blake. That's good.
Thanks, Jenna.
Ups and downs, Pete.
That's good.
You know me, I'm like a roller coaster.
Ups and downs, Pete. You know me, I'm like a roller
Jenna Roebuck, we love you.
I just want to curl up by that fake fire right there and I don't know, sleep forever.
curl up by that big fire right there.
They're sleeping right now. They're pretty good. Good night, Blake. Get some rest. I did from the age of 18 to 32. I work night shift.
18, 32.
I have mental illness myself. Certainly recurrent episodes of major depression. But since HIV, I've experienced more manic type symptoms too. I've been through a lot of trauma as well.
Since HIV, I've experienced more manic type symptoms too. I've been through a lot of trauma.
Jenna Robot, we love you.
Laura sent me a bag, and this is like 4 bags later.
Laura sent me a bag, this is like 4 bags later.
Jenna Robot, we love you. Jenna Robot, we love you.
As long as you're just talking hypothetical, you're not like making like implied threats or something. Sure, I mean, I've read about hypothetical ways, like you can murder somebody in Idaho and Yellowstone Park. Something to do with the Constitution and being represented by a jury of your peers, and in that like federal district of there is no population, there are no peers to draw from, and this constitutional professor or somebody wrote to Congress in 2006 or something saying, hey, there's a problem here, no one's ever done anything about it. It's untested, but it's hard to imagine they just let people get away with it, though. It's hard to imagine they just let people get away with it, though. Soapy, down. Sit. Sit. Shake. Up. Hey. Up. Up. Come on. Come here. Sit. Hey, up. Come up here. Come on. Up. Come on. Up. Sit. Shake. Lay down. Good. Hey, out of there. Go on, get down. Get down. Hey, out of there. Come on, get down. Hey. Welcome to Jason is a Social Scientist. By Mouth Daily. Pill number 574. The pill is Biktarvy. It's a once-a-day pill containing 3 medications. Biktarvy, Bictegravir, amtricitabine, and tenofovir alafenamide. Together they work in concert to suppress the replication of the HIV virus within my system. I take my HIV medication live on the Book of Face each day in front of friends, family, and strangers. I do so in order to embrace stigma, dispel ignorance, and find support. After 574 pills, 574 shows, a number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and around and about the show. The bells, bows, and other people, the people that come back night after night and give me their most valuable resource, their time. To me, that's the most significant thing that's risen up and around and about the show. The community. But therein lies the support. But a number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and around and about the show. Ding dong bell, aboard does she now. I mean, heck, the show has it all. I like to say that it is Cloud Atlas, and then it incorporates at least 600 years of entertainment. With Edward R. Murrow's radio broadcasts on record and cylinders played on a 19th century Edison home phonograph, along with a nursery rhyme book from my childhood containing rhymes from the 15th century. It is, in a sense, also the Matrix. In a previous iteration of the show, I created something I call the Rainbow Tunnel, in which I harnessed the power of Grayskull and the Eye of Thundera, funneling them through a series of warp nacelles, creating a static warp bubble and a subsequent singularity, punching a hole through the fourth wall, across the multiverse, and into the source. The show now takes place in an echo chamber, created by me, that serves as a way station between our reality and the source. I don't expect lay people to fully understand, as this is advanced social science. Yeah, so the show is also like an old-timey variety show, Carol Burnett style, mixed with a merry melody of Looney Tunes and a measure of Mork and Mindy, a dash of Mr. Ed, and two doses of Alice in Wonderland, a helping of hee-haw, heaps of Benny Hill, a hint of the Highlander, tons of the Twilight Zone, a tincture of Teen Wolf. Oh, 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 an ounce of Oz, a cup of Creep Show and Castaway, a quart of Quantum Leap, and a gallon of Gilligan's Island. It's a 4-hour show and a 4-hour tour. Piles of Pee-wee's Playhouse, a pinch of Peter Pan, a pound of Popeye. I am what I am, a whole block of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and a ration of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm just a sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania. Come up to the lab, see what's on the slab. I can see you shiver with anticipation. Touch me, I wanna be dirty. Thrill me, chill me, fulfill me. Creature of the night, an undone Benjamin Button, a corny ear of Dumbo, a college triumph I spy, a couple raw strokes of Bob Ross, a spoonful of Mary Poppins, a full Monty Python. Finally lumping Rick and Morty with a liter of I Love Lucy in the sky with diamonds. And wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, you've got the show. Everything is out of place and out of time here, including and especially me. Alice will always be pregnant. Harambe will always be ready for high fives. The first and the second coming will always be risen, with the Obamas getting blowjobs from the Woodies, and the Superman and their boners will always be spinsters and seamstresses working the sweatshop. The twin towers will always stand with Lady Liberty. You will love their MTV. Pigs will fly, disco and dance will reign like men did in the days of old. I write nightly the future history of anachronism for your future children and your elderly grandparents. May they enjoy it now and time immemorial. If I'd have people take only one thing away from this show, it would be the knowledge that HIV is preventable. If you're HIV negative, there's a once-a-day pill you can take They call it PrEP, the pre-exposure protocol. The pill is Truvada. If you're HIV negative, you take it once a day, and it works like a highly effective chemical condom. It prevents HIV. But if you're already HIV positive like me, treatment is prevention. By taking my medication every day and maintaining an undetectable viral load, it makes it so I'm not contagious. U equals U. Undetectable equals untransmissible. You could fuck me bareback all day long, and you'd never catch HIV from me. It's a brave new world, the future is now, and it's 1969. Free love. Woo! The future is now, and it's 1969. I love you too, Astasia. Free love. You're getting very, very sleepy. Hi, Carrie Rutledge. Woo! You're getting very, very sleepy. Hi, Carrie Rutledge. I love you, Audra. I'm sorry I'm having a rough week. Dang it to heck. I love you, Audra. I'm sorry I'm having a rough week. Yes, Laura Brandel got me these wings. They came in a box last week, 2 weeks ago. Yes, Laura Brandel got me these wings. Last week, 2 weeks ago. Narwhals. Majestic animals. What about them now? I can't read the last little bit. Majestic animals. So we read one more chapter of Hamon Rye. Minutes left, all right. This is chapter 40. Hamon Rye by Charles Bukowski. ROTC, chapter 40. Reserve Officer Training Corps, was for the misfits. Like I said, it was either that or gym. I would have taken gym, but I didn't want people to see my boils. There was something wrong with almost everybody enrolled in ROTC. It almost entirely consisted of guys who didn't like sports or guys whose parents forced them to take ROTC because they thought it was more patriotic. The parents of rich kids tend to be more patriotic because they had more to lose if the country went under. The poor parents were far less patriotic, and they often professed their patriotism only because it was expected or because it was the way they had been raised. Subconsciously, they knew it wouldn't be any better or worse for them if the Russians or the Germans or the Chinese or the Japanese ran the country, especially if they had dark skin. Things might even improve. Anyhow, since many of the parents of Chelsea High were rich, we had one of the biggest ROTCs in the city. So we marched around in the sun and learned to dig latrines, cure snakebite, tend the wounded, tie tourniquets, bayonet the enemy, We learned about hand grenades, infiltration, deployment of troops, maneuvers, retreats, advances, mental and physical discipline. We got on the firing range, bang bang, and we got our marksman's medals. We had actual field maneuvers. We went out in the woods and waged a mock war. We crawled on our bellies toward each other with our rifles. We were very serious. Even I was serious. There was something about it that got your blood going. It was stupid. We all knew it was stupid, most of us. But something clicked in our brains and we really wanted to get involved in it. We had an old retired army man, Colonel Sussex. He was getting senile and drooled. Little trickles of saliva running out of the corner of his mouth and down around under his chin. He never said anything. He just stood there around in his uniform covered with medals and drew his pay from the high school. During our mock maneuvers, he carried around a clipboard and kept score. He stood on a high hill and made marks on the clipboard, probably. But he never told us who won. Each side claimed victory. It made for bad feelings. Lieutenant Herman Beechcroft was best. His father owned a bakery and a hotel catering service, whatever that was. Anyhow, he was best. He always gave the same speech before maneuver. Remember, you must hate the enemy. They want to rape your mother and sisters. You want those monsters to rape your mother and sisters? Lieutenant Beechcroft had almost no chin at all. His face dropped away suddenly, and where the jawbone should have been, there was only a little button. We weren't sure if it was a deformity or not, but his eyes were magnificent in their fury, large blue blazing symbols of war and victory. Whitlinger! Yes, sir! Would you want those guys raping your mother? My mother's dead, sir. Oh, sorry, Drake. Yes, sir. Would you want those guys raping your mother? No, sir. Good. Remember, this is a war. We accept mercy, but we do not give mercy. Yes, sir. You must hate the enemy. Kill him. A dead man can't defeat you. Defeat is a disease. Victory writes history. Now let's go get those cocksuckers. We deployed our line and sent out the advanced scouts and began crawling through the brush. I could see Colonel Sussex on his hill with his clipboard. It was blues versus greens. We each had a piece of colored rag tied around our upper right arm. We were the blues. Crawling through those bushes was pure hell. It was hot. There were bugs, dust, rocks, thorns. I didn't know where I was. Our squad leader, Kozak, had vanished somewhere. There was no communication. We were fucked. Our mothers were going to get raped. I kept crawling forward, bruising and scratching myself, feeling lost and scared, but really feeling more of the fool. All this vacant land and empty sky, hills, streams, acres and acres. Who owned it all? Probably the father of one of those rich guys. We weren't going to capture anything. The whole place was on loan to the high school. No smoking. I crawled forward. We had no air cover, no tanks, nothing. We were just a bunch of fairies out on a half-assed maneuver without food, without women, without reason. I stood up, walked over, and sat down with my back against a tree, put my rifle down, and waited. Everybody was lost. It didn't matter. I pulled my armband off and waited for a Red Cross ambulance or something. War was probably hell, but the in-between parts were boring. Then the bushes cracked open. A guy leaped out of and saw me. He had a green on his armband, a rapist. He pointed his rifle at me. I had no armband on. It was down in the grass. He wanted to take prisoner. I knew him. He was Harry Missions. His father owned a lumber company. I sat there against the tree. Blue or green, he hollered at me. I'm Matahari, a spy. I take spies. Come on, cut the shit, Harry. This game is for children. Don't bother me with your fetid melodrama. The bush just cracked open again. There's Lieutenant Beechcroft Missions, and Beechcroft face each other. I hereby take you prisoner, screamed Beechcroft at Missions. I hereby take you prisoner, screamed Missions at Beechcroft. They were both really nervous and angry. I could feel it. Beechcroft drew his saber. Surrender, or I'll run you through. Missions grabbed his gun brother. Come over here and I'll knock your goddamn head off. Then the bushes cracked open everywhere. The screaming had attracted both the blues and the greens. I sat against the tree while they mixed up. There was dust, scuffling, and now and then the evil sound of a rifle stock against skull. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. Some bodies were down. Rifles were lost. There were fist fights and headlocks. I saw two guys with green armbands locked in a death grip. Then Colonel Sussex appeared. He blew frantically on his whistle. Spit sprayed everywhere. Then he ran over with his swagger stick and began beating the troops with it. He was good. It cut like a whip and sliced like a razor. Oh, shit. I quit. No, stop. Jesus, mercy. Mother. The troops separated and stood looking at each other. Colonel Sussex picked up his clipboard. His uniform was unwrinkled. His medals were still in place. His cap sat at the correct angle. He flipped his swagger stick, caught it, and walked off. We followed. We climbed into the old army trucks with their ripped canvas sides and tops and that had brought us. The engine started and we drove off. We faced each other on the long wooden benches. We had come out, all the blues in one of the trucks, all the greens in the other. Now we're mixed together, sitting there, most of us looking down at our scuffed and dusty shoes, being jiggled this way and that, to the left, to the right, up and down as the truck tires hit the ruts and the old roads. We were tired and we were defeated and we were frustrated. The war was over. We were tired and we were defeated and we were frustrated. The war was over. What's going on, Beth? I'm not ripping. I can't read the rest of it. What's going on? But I sentence that starts. I'm not ripping on it, but. I'm not ripping. I can't read the rest of it. But I sentence that starts. I'm not ripping on it, but. Why don't you do a show? That sounds like a better idea. Why don't you do a show? That sounds like a better idea. Why don't you do a show? That sounds like a better idea. Rude. Just rude. Whatever. Rude. Just rude. Insults veiled with. So you're bored. I get it. Insults veiled with. So you're bored. I get it. Maybe I'm just sensitive. Maybe I'm oversensitive. Maybe I'm just sensitive. Maybe I'm oversensitive. Maybe I'm just sensitive. Maybe I'm oversensitive. Audra Cohen, we love you.
Audra Cohen, we love you. Audra Cohen, we love you. Audra Cohen, we love you. Audra Cohen, we love you. Audra Cohen, we love you. Audra Cohen, we love you.
Oh yeah. Rochelle Haig, happy birthday! Rochelle Haig, happy birthday! Rochelle I do believe the book is mostly autobiographical, but it's not completely. Well, like because he tells not all the short because there's not all the short stories are compatible. Because the one where he checks in the short story where he checks into the county hospital. With like his father's a judge, and in this book his father's not a judge. Although maybe he's good. He does say he's always good at tests. Maybe he goes on to be a lawyer. I don't know. And then judge. what do they call that? Alexander Pope said, "Damn with faint." It feels like you're damning with faint praise. If you think the show is about the bells, whistles, and bows, you're wrong. It's not. It's not about being entertaining. If it's entertaining, that's all the better. I'm not here to be a clown. Sometimes I act clownish. Like I'm not here to be here. What you want me to be? That's awesome, Michelle. I mean, I just want to see I need one person fill 4 hours a night. I mean, I don't feel like I should, like, even feel compelled to defend myself.